Ministry of Defense of Ukraine spokesperson on NATO-related issues. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Now the information about the events that happened in the ATO zone and in the fields and in firing grounds of the country. The Lugansk sector, yesterday the enemy opened fire at Ukrainian positions along the front line. The most active the enemy was in Bakhmut Road. There were 5 instances of ceasefire violations. 2 of them were with the use of mortars in Krymsk. Also, 1 mortar shelling was delivered yesterday after 11 p.m. in Popasnyansky region near Novosvanivka. At the same region, militant groups opened fire with the use of APC's weaponry, and 1 armored provocation was near Shastya and 1 in Stanitsa Luganska. On the whole, in the Lugansk sector yesterday, there were 10 enemy shellings recorded. The Donetsk sector lion's share of shellings, 8 shellings, were near Avdiivka. The militants were more active until starting noon, and the shelling lasted up to 2 hours with the use of grenade launchers of different systems and small arms. And after sunset, the enemy used heavy weapons, launching more than 20 mines. And also yesterday, closer to midnight in Verkhnetoretsk, there was 1 short armored provocation by the enemy with the use of grenade launcher. And on the whole, in the Donetsk sector, there were 8 enemy shellings recorded. The Mariupol sector in Mariinsky region, the enemy violated ceasefire 3 times late in the evening, and twice militant groups used mortars and armored vehicles against ATO forces in Krasnogorovka. In Mariinka, militants opened fire with the use of machine guns, and there were 2 enemy shellings in Novomikhailivka, 1 of them mortar shelling. And also enemy shellings continued in the region Dokuchaevsk, Novotroitsk and Berezove. Here the enemy repeatedly opened fire with the use of mortars and delivered precision firing with the use of small arms. And in most grave cases, ATO forces returned fire using arms that are not banned by accords. And at the line of contact from Pavlopil to Shirokina, the enemy opened fire throughout the day and didn't use heavy weapons. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Mariupol sector, there were 20 enemy shellings recorded, including 6 with the use of heavy weapons, mortars. During the last 24 hours, and the result of the military actions, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed or wounded. Unfortunately, yesterday, 1 Ukrainian serviceman who was wounded on the 29th of June in Mariupol sector died in Dnipro in the local hospital. Our hearts go out to the relatives of the serviceman who died. According to the information provided by the Chief Intelligence Department of MOD, confirmed losses of the enemy over the last week were 17 killed and 17 wounded. And according to the Border Service of Ukraine, Ukrainian law enforcers detained an extremely dangerous militant that hails from Russia. He is Valery Gratov, and Vaitenko was his name according to his fake documents. This is a 64-year-old man. He is a colonel of air and paratroop forces of Russian Federation, and it was identified that since 2014 he actively participated in the activity of Russian occupation forces in Donbass. Law enforcers confiscated numerous evidence of his illegal activity. These are information carriers, separatist materials, documents, photos with the commanders of militants Tolstych and Pavlov, and also with Zakharchenko. And special forces wanted to appoint him deputy of the Minister of State Security in occupied territories of Moldova. SB officers helped 1 more former militant to return to peaceful life due to their program that is called They Wait For You Back Home, it was identified that in mid-April 2014, resident of Toretsk, under the influence of pro-Russian propaganda, joined militant group. He served at enemy checkpoint, and later the man understood that he does not want to earn on the blood of the people, and he left the militants, and now he is at home with his family. And in Zakarpattia, there were 10-day training for reservists. According to scenario of the training, a guarded facility was stormed and reservists successfully conducted battle and launched an offensive. And this event was commanded by experienced instructors with extensive experience of service in flash spot areas. This is all. If you have questions, please ask. There are no questions. Thank you. Till the next time.